Excellent. These four slide together beautifully, and they also shift the countdown's mood into a more biological, identity-shaking territory. From the body's useless parts, to the soul reduced to a gene, to the hidden code in DNA, to the illusion of feeling your own body. I've polished them just slightly for pacing, imagery, and consistency with the rest of your countdown voice. Unsettling, conversational, with that final sting of realization. Number 13, the useless appendix. For decades, the appendix was the punchline of evolution, a vestigial organ, a ticking time bomb waiting to burst. Medical schools called it a biological dead end, a mistake evolution forgot to erase. Comforting, in a way, it proved nature was sloppy. But then studies in the 2000s revealed the truth. The appendix is a safe house for good bacteria, a biological bunker that helps repopulate your gut after illness wipes it clean. Suddenly, the mistake looked like design. And that raised a disturbing question. If we were wrong about the appendix, what else are we wrong about? Tonsils? Wisdom teeth? All the spare parts we casually dismiss as useless? The unsettling truth, the body isn't a clumsy patchwork. It's a carefully interconnected ecosystem we still barely understand. Number 12, the God gene. Imagine if spirituality, faith, and awe could be reduced to a twist of DNA. In 2004, geneticist Dean Hamer claimed he had found just that. VMAT2, the so-called God gene. According to him, it predisposed people to mystical experiences, even linking prayer and meditation to dopamine surges, a chemical high disguised as transcendence. The idea spread like wildfire. Headlines, outrage, furious debates in labs. If true, it meant belief wasn't free will or divine gift. It was preloaded biology. Code in your cells. Many scientists criticized the claim, and replication was shaky at best. But the unsettling idea escaped into the culture that what feels sacred might just be chemistry in disguise, and that your soul may be less divine spark than neural wiring. Number 11, the dark matter of the genome. Remember high school biology? DNA was the blueprint. Genes were the instructions. And everything else, 98% of it, was junk DNA. Meaningless filler. Scientists were so sure it was useless, they barely studied it. But then came the ENCODE project, which revealed that vast stretches of this so-called junk are active, controlling when and how genes turn on. They weren't filler pages, they were the control switches. The horrifying part wasn't just the discovery, it was realizing how long we ignored it. For decades, we had a blind spot in our own operating system, dismissing most of our genome as garbage. In reality, the junk was quietly pulling the strings, a black box of influence humming away beneath our understanding. Number 10, the ghost sensations lose a limb, and your brain doesn't update the blueprint. For years, sometimes forever, you can still feel it. An itch on a missing foot, a cramp in a hand that no longer exists. This is phantom limb sensation, and it proves just how stubborn your brain's map of the body really is. Doctors once dismissed it as psychological, but the truth is worse. The brain keeps expecting signals from the missing limb, and when other signals bleed in, it mislabels them. Touch your cheek, and your brain might swear it's your absent hand. The disturbing part is what this means about the body itself. Your sense of physical form, your certainty that you inhabit arms, legs, and hands, isn't based on reality. It's based on a story your brain is telling itself. Which means even the most real sensation, feeling your own body, might be nothing but an illusion. These four create a chilling midsection for the countdown. They strip away trust in the body, then in the soul, then in DNA itself, before tearing down the very sensation of being alive inside your own skin. Would you like me to now merge all entries from 14.1 into one polished master script with transitions between sections so it flows like a continuous long-form Art-a-Clash video? Or keep it modular and numbered for flexible reordering? These four are excellent. They work as a bridge section in your countdown, carrying the reader from mysterious silent brain regions to the illusion of healing, placebo, to constant primal fear, fight-flight, to the loss of conscious control, zombie mode. They read like a steady stripping away of agency. I've smoothed them slightly for pacing and tonal consistency with the rest of your entries. Number 9, the useless brain regions. For years, brain scans seemed to show vast, silent stretches of gray matter that never lit up during experiments. Neuroscientists wrote them off as evolutionary leftovers, like a cerebral appendix. comforting in a way. We could focus on the important parts, like vision or language, and ignore the silent majority. But as imaging technology improved, the truth emerged. These regions weren't quiet at all. They were buzzing with activity, communicating in ways too subtle for us to detect. Entire conversations in our heads, memories, self-awareness, even identity may be happening in those once dismissed areas. The unsettling implication, most of what makes you you may be occurring in a language your conscious mind doesn't even understand. Number 8. The placebo effect. You take a shiny new pill, convinced it will heal you. Days later, your symptoms fade. A miracle, until you learn the pill was nothing but sugar. That's the placebo effect, your brain lying to your body so convincingly it changes your biology. Once thought of as a minor psychological quirk, placebos are now known to alter heart rate, blood pressure, even brain chemistry. The disturbing truth is that medicine isn't just about molecules. It's about the story you believe. Your brain is capable of mimicking powerful drugs all on its own, tricking your body into healing itself. The lie is that pills have fixed effects. The truth is that belief might be the most potent drug of all. Number 7. The unconscious predator. You're walking home at night and hear footsteps. Your heart slams, your body floods with adrenaline, and you're convinced danger is behind you. That's fight or flight, the primal alarm that kept our ancestors alive. But here's the dark twist. Research suggests this system never really turns off. It hums constantly in the background, scanning for threats that may not exist. In the modern world, with no lions to run from, it misfires, turning shadows into stalkers, a backfiring car into gunfire, an unread text into rejection. What was once a heroic survival tool is now a constant hum of needless dread. Our most celebrated instinct has become one of our greatest sources of anxiety. Number 6. The zombie within you. Believe you're in charge of your body, choosing each action, steering every movement. But much of what you do is handled by a hidden system neuroscientists call zombie mode. In the early 2000s, researchers discovered 2 visual pathways, one conscious, one unconscious. The unconscious one bypasses awareness, controlling reflexive actions directly. That's why you can dodge a ball before you even register it, which means countless daily behaviors, stepping aside on the sidewalk, catching a glass mid-fall, aren't chosen by you at all. They're executed by a primitive autopilot you don't even notice. You're not always the pilot of your body. Sometimes you're just along for the ride. These give your countdown a terrific middle stretch, subtle at first, unused brain regions, then creeping into trust in medicine, primal instincts, and finally, your very sense of agency. Do you want me to now assemble all 14 entries into a single flowing master draft with transitions, so it feels like one continuous article video script? Or should I keep polishing them in standalone numbered modules so you can reorder freely? These 3 are perfectly placed near the top of your countdown. They escalate from dismantling rational thought to dismantling pain to dismantling the senses themselves. It feels like peeling away the last comforting illusions before the final cosmic reveal. I've polished them slightly for flow, pacing, and to keep the unsettling but conversational rhythm consistent with the rest of your series. Number 5. The rationality myth. You think you're logical. Rational. A decision maker who weighs facts and data before choosing wisely. That's one of the most comforting lies your brain tells you. The truth? Your brain is a deeply emotional, biased machine. In famous experiments, patients with brain damage to emotional centers could list the pros and cons of 2 options endlessly, but they couldn't decide. Why? Because logic doesn't decide. Emotion does. Without that subconscious gut feeling, the system stalls. This discovery shattered the idea of humans as rational beings. Our conscious mind isn't a calculator. It's a narrator. We make choices emotionally first, then invent logical justifications after the fact. Rationality isn't steering the ship. It's just narrating the ride. Number 4. The lie of your physical pain. You stub your toe. Pain explodes. You scream, hop around, and for a moment, your entire universe is your foot. You assume pain is a direct measure of injury, but that's the lie. Pain is not an objective signal from your body. It's a subjective story crafted by your brain. Context, fear, attention, and memory all shape it. That's why a soldier can be shot in battle and feel nothing until the adrenaline fades, while a chronic pain patient can feel torment from the lightest touch. Pain isn't damage, it's a survival narrative, sometimes accurate, often misleading. The horrifying truth is that one of the most vivid sensations you have is not a direct reflection of reality, but a flexible story your brain is telling you, sometimes helpfully, sometimes cruelly. Number 3, the lie of your senses. At a concert, the bass rattles your chest. You don't just hear it, you feel it. It seems like pure sensory truth, but it's an illusion. Your brain is blending vibrations from your ears, skin, and the floor into one unified experience. Scientists call this cross-modal perception, and it's not rare. It's constant. Smells summon vivid memories. Sounds trigger goosebumps. Colors shift depending on their context. The lie is that you have 5 separate senses. The truth is that your brain constantly mixes and edits them into a seamless but distorted picture of reality. Even color itself isn't absolute. It's filtered through lighting, surroundings, and memory. You don't see the world as it is. You see the version your brain improvises, and it's both beautiful and deeply flawed. These make a devastating lead-up to your final entry, Quantum Observer, pulling the rug out from under reason, sensation, and perception right before smashing the idea of objective reality itself. Would you like me to now stitch everything from 14.1 into one continuous, polished master draft with smooth transitions between each entry so it flows like a full long-form script article? These two make for an incredible finale. They lift the countdown from the most personal illusions, your thoughts, senses, and pain, straight into the cosmic, reality itself, and then collapse it back inward to the most intimate, your gut, your microbes, your identity. It feels like the whole list spirals outward, then snaps back with a final gut punch. Literally. Here's a tightened version, polished for tone, rhythm, and impact. Number 2, the Quantum Observer. This one isn't about your brain. It's about the universe itself. And it's the most unsettling truth of all, because it suggests reality, as we've been taught, isn't just misunderstood, it's broken. In the infamous double-slit experiment, physicists fire particles at a barrier with 2 slits. When no one observes, the particles behave like waves, scattering into an interference pattern, as if each particle passed through both slits at once. But the moment you try to observe which slit the particle takes, the pattern collapses. The particles behave like solid objects instead. The simple act of looking changes the outcome. This shattered the idea of an objective, independent universe. It implies that reality is not fixed, but a cloud of probabilities that only solidify when observed. Which means your consciousness doesn't just witness the world, it actively shapes it. The universe isn't a finished book you're reading. It's a draft manuscript, rewritten every time you turn your gaze upon it. Number 1, the gut-brain axis. After exploring illusions, glitches, and cosmic paradoxes, here's the one that cuts closest to home. You have never truly been in charge of yourself. Inside your gut lives a sprawling universe of microbes, bacteria, fungi, and other organisms outnumbering your own human cells. For decades, we thought the brain commanded the gut, but research shows the truth is bidirectional. Your gut talks back, constantly. Through the gut-brain axis, these microbes send chemical signals that influence your mood, your cravings, your memory, even your decisions. That late-night sugar urge, that creeping wave of anxiety, it might not be you at all. It might be the microbial voices of trillions of tiny passengers lobbying for what they want. The unsettling truth is that your identity, your will, your emotions, your very sense of self isn't just shaped by your brain. It's co-authored by an invisible foreign colony inside you. You're not the sole master of your universe. You're the host of one. Together, these land with the biggest possible contrast, from the universe shaped by your observation to the realization that even the you doing the observing is partly written by microbes. Do you want me to now weave all 14.1 into a single master draft with smooth transitions, like a finished long-form script/article, or keep them modular so you can shuffle the order depending on the project?